What is going on, guys? Jay here from Maji, and Jay today checking out a super budget phone from China by Xiaomi. It is called the Redmi S2. By this point, a lot of you guys have probably seen videos of this device, and of course I want to participate and give you guys my own opinion about this phone. And as you know, I review devices and I show you guys the value of it according to the price. This one is considered a budget phone at only $155, so we can't expect perfection, but let me tell you guys, this is definitely a great contender out there for anybody looking for a very good device that comes with LTE bands, good camera, good software. I would definitely recommend it right off the bat. So anyways, getting a look at the box here, we can notice that there's not a lot going on. We only have the model name here, and on the side it is giving us the information that this is the global version, meaning that we are getting 4G LTE here in the USA with AT&T and T-Mobile and other prepaid companies like Metro PCS. We have Cricket Wireless, H2 Wireless, Simple Mobile, and many more that work on AT&T and T-Mobile's networks. On the back side here we have, well, some of the quick specifications or the highlight. Here we can see the camera in the front is a 60 megapixel sensor with AI technology, and also comes with a LED light on the front side, which is really cool. We have two cameras in the back, a 12 and a 5 megapixel sensor, a 5.99 inch display. It is HD with a resolution of 1440 by 720 and the Snapdragon 625. Now I really wish that maybe they could have added the Snapdragon 636, as it is a little bit more updated and I think a little bit more powerful. So yeah, it's having the Snapdragon 625 is a little bit of a bummer, but nevertheless guys, it is a very good performing device. So anyways, let's go ahead and open the phone here so that way we can check the content inside. And here we have the device itself. So let me go ahead and give you guys a quick view here. So again, on the front here we had that 5.99 inch display. On the top you have the 60 megapixel sensor camera with AI technology, meaning that it's able to detect objects and give you guys the best picture possible without having to tweak it. You have the ear speaker, you have some sensors, and the LED flash for the front facing camera, and towards the bottom we do have a chin. Now this device is not going to be considered a bezel-less phone. As a matter of fact, it does have some quite thick bezels around the entire screen, so don't expect to be something like an iPhone looking device or maybe an LG device. No, it's going to look just like a standard phone. So again, that was a little bit of a bummer, considering that we are in 2018 and we are expecting that notch to be there, at least myself, even though a lot of people are not really a fan of. But if you don't like the notch, then I guess that's a plus for you. So here on the left hand side we have the dual SIM, also supports TF cards, so you can upgrade the memory, so that's great. On the top here we have something that has vanished on many phones in 2018, which is the 3.5mm headphone jack. And also we have an IR blaster with the secondary microphone, and again the IR blaster has pretty much vanished on all of the phones, so having it on the Xiaomi Redmi S2 definitely adds value. On the right hand side here we have the volume rockers up and down with the power key, and on the back here we have the dual cameras like I mentioned before. It does have electronic image stabilization, so that's a plus. We have the LED flash here, the fingerprint scanner, and then just some information here on the bottom side about the company and whatnot, something very typical. And on the back here guys, it is also made of plastic. This is not going to be metal, but for the price, like I'm gonna keep mentioning throughout the whole entire video, we can't complain. $155, you really cannot expect much from this phone here. So anyway, sitting on that side, let's go ahead and check out the contents here. So we have a SIM ejector tool underneath the USB cable, and the fast charger here, which is not for the USA, but this is a fast charger, so it is able to go from 0 to 100% in about an hour and 20 minutes approximately. So that's it guys for the accessories. So let me go ahead, oh, and actually I almost forgot to mention that it comes with a case already from factory, which is great. It is a little cheap looking silicone case, so nothing extreme. Here we can see it, and then we have the manuals and stuff, and that's pretty much all we have inside of the box. So now let's go ahead and fire up the Redmi S2 and talk about the software and hardware. Getting back here to the Redmi S2, this phone is currently running the MIUI 9.5 and it is powered by the Android Oreo 8.1.0. I have already set up the fingerprint scanner and pretty much everything that you can set up in a phone when it comes to security, and everything is working properly here. I'm going to show you guys how quick it is to unlock it. Right now it is currently on sleep mode and it doesn't hesitate to unlock guys right after I place my finger. It is super quick, so this is definitely a plus for a phone that costs only $155. This operating system, as we know, MIUI runs very nice and smoothly, and it is basically a clone of iOS. We don't have an app drawer on here, and there are certain themes that you can install to get the app drawer back on here. So that's another plus for this phone, that again, it is customizable still. And yes, for the most part, it's performing great. And also guys, with this phone, you don't have to worry about the Google applications being installed that come already with the device. You get pretty much everything right out of the box. You don't have to tweak it, you don't have to root it, you don't have to do, you don't have to follow any tutorials to get it installed. And this is something that I've seen on other Chinese phones in the past, where they don't have all the Google apps. And I'm going to mention one of them. It was the Smartisan phone that I had a couple of months ago. It didn't come with the Google apps after the software update, and even when it had it before, it had a lot of glitches. So phones like that, you want to try to stay away from, because they can be a headache to get, again, the Google applications installed on there. So anyways, going here into settings and going to about device, we can appreciate here all the specifications that I already mentioned, including the MIUI 9.5. It is the stable version. This one is global as well, so it means that you're not going to see a lot of Chinese stuff on here. It gets updates all the time, which is another great thing about Xiaomi, is that they back up their products, and they provide a lot of support, especially if there are any bugs available. We got the RAM right here, 3 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes of internal memory. You can still upgrade it, which is another plus. And again guys, it is a very decent phone for the price. Again, we're not paying over $200 for this phone, which that would have been a little bit too expensive. For $155, I don't have a lot to say when it comes to cons about this phone. So the only things that I didn't like about it is because I got used to is the wireless charging, no NFC, and at least I was expecting a full HD display. Considering that this is 6 inches, you can still notice the pixels on here, and the colors are not the best, but nevertheless, it is still a very good performing phone. Now, when it comes to the camera here, guys, on the back, we have a 12 megapixel sensor and a 5 megapixel sensor as well. Everything works great as expected, but now the only complaint that I have is that the white balance is a little bit off, as you guys can appreciate. But now having the electronic image stabilization helps, and it keeps the image for the most part stable on here. As you can see, colors are okay, they're quite accurate, and the focus is really quick. But like I said, the white balance is a little bit off. And the same thing goes here for the front-facing camera. As you guys can appreciate, this one doesn't have electronic image stabilization, but you do get a flash with it, and it has face detection and all that great stuff that we like. So from these photos, you guys can also notice how the white balance is not there. The colors are a little bit more washed out on the front-facing camera, and I was expecting good quality, a little bit better than what I got, considering that it is a 60 megapixel sensor. But yes guys, I mean, maybe this can be fixed with software in the future. I'm really not worried about the camera here. Also, the battery on this device is a 3080 milliamp battery, so having a 720p display, and considering that it is the Snapdragon 625, which is a power saver, I was able to get more than a day of usage with this phone, which I don't have any complaints about. And yes guys, I had to agree that not having something like the Snapdragon 636 is a little bit disappointing, considering that the Snapdragon 625, I believe it came out in 2016. So yes, when it comes to hardware, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's a little bit outdated, and I guess this is another cons for this phone. Like I said guys, pretty much almost every phone out there does have cons. So here, let's go ahead and check the Antutu benchmark test. I've got almost 80,000 on this phone, and again, this is typical with the Snapdragon 625. It has the Adreno 506. Let's go ahead and confirm that here, which is a great GPU for gaming. The resolution there, we can see it 1440 by 720. So again, everything else is just a repetition of everything that I just said, so nothing to really look for here. I got the Geekbench done, and I think, I'm not sure if I was able to do it. I think I got some errors on here, and yes I did guys. For some reason, every time I tried to complete the Geekbench testing on this device, it gets an error and it just crashes, so I couldn't give you guys the score. I do apologize for this. It comes again with an IR blaster, and this works perfect. I already set up my TV and I didn't have any problems. It has about, I would say, almost 20 feet of range, so that's quite far considering that it is such a small sensor here on the top side. So at least on that aspect, it does work very nicely. Another thing about it is that the call quality is really good, and here I'm going to show you guys that not only the call quality is good, but also the internet connectivity is good, since we are getting LTE support. You can see it right there on the upper right hand side corner. So again, another plus for this phone. And also the loudspeaker is pretty decent. Let me go ahead and show you here. YouTube. And by the way guys, I almost forgot to mention that this phone only comes with the micro USB port and one loudspeaker. We don't have stereo loudspeakers like we have seen on other budget phones, and the microphone will be located here on the left hand side. I do apologize for this. I almost forgot to mention something so important. Here we go. Hey, what is going on guys? Jay here from Maji and Jay. Today trying out another cool budget phone from China. It is called the Xiaomi A1 Pro, and me personally guys, not trying to make fun of this device, but I will keep the Pro name away from it because in reality it doesn't have really pro specifications. As a matter of fact, it only comes with it. And there we heard guys, the quality coming out of the loudspeaker, and as you can hear, it is not the best but it's not the worst either. Again, it has some bass to it and it has clarity, but it's just not the loudest out there. Also here from settings, you guys will get some decent features. We have here, if you go into lock screen, you can see we have some shortcuts. You can double press the volume down key to open the camera quickly, and some other settings similar to that one in particular. So you can tweak it to the way you want to. And also we got here the notification and status bar. You can change pretty much anything you want, including the patterns here of the touch keys on the bottom side, such as the task key, the home key, and the back key. You can switch into the way you want to as well. So again guys, it does have very decent features, and especially for this price, $155, coming unlocked with LTE support. By the way, here we can again see the LTE support still, and I'm getting good signal with T-Mobile, so that means that all the bands are supported. Now I was impressed to see that on Gearbest website I didn't see all the bands stated on there, but yes, it will work with AT&T and T-Mobile. A lot of you guys still ask me about this, and I actually have two of these right now. I have one coming in the way. This one will be given away, as I promised to you guys before on my community section. I mentioned that which one you wanted me to give away, whether if it was the Xiaomi A1 Pro or the Redmi S2, and you guys voted for the Redmi S2. So all you have to do to qualify is just make sure that you are subscribed, click on the bell, share this video, like this video, and comment as well. And after you do so, the more you do it on every other video, the better the chances you have of being noticed by me. And this is how I select my winner. The more active you are in my channel guys, the more you help me out, the more I will notice you, and of course you will be eligible to win something like the Redmi S2. So with this being said guys, I think I have covered the basics so far for the unboxing and the hands-on of the Redmi S2. Like always, if you guys do have any questions, you know exactly what to do. Just leave your comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on my next one.